Welcome everybody to another episode of Latifs Inspired, a special little episode for you guys. Now, we do staff curries in Indian restaurants up and down the country, and it's very popular on the channel whenever I've done a staff curry sort of recipe. This recipe has been requested from some of the lads who work at the restaurant, because on a Saturday night it just gets extremely busy, and then you've got like half an hour slot left and you didn't get a chance to cook the staff curry, and everyone really looks forward for that staff curry. And I've had loads of requests, how do you cook that curry? It's just so tasty, so flavorful. So today I'm going to show you a chicken curry that you can cook with less than 30 minutes, and it's absolutely gorgeous, I promise you. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the like button. It helps the video shoot up the algorithm, and I appreciate it. And write on the comment section, interact with me. I do read them and I try my best to respond however busy I am. So today is going to be a chicken curry, a Lahori style Karahi with an influence of Bangladeshi spices. So let's make this amazing chicken curry. So this is the famous garlic and ginger paste. So you can see it's green because we use coriander stalks and green chilies. We're going to use some lovely fragrant, crunchy, vine-ripened tomatoes. These are very flavorful, the best tomatoes ever. So we got about 1.5 kg of chicken, so I'm using about 8 tomatoes, some spices, and accompanied with this chicken curry we're going to cook some rice. So this is about a coffee mug full, so we're using 2 mugfuls of rice, and the secret recipe is lamb stock. Look at that, all that lamb and that fat on top. It's going to be absolutely flavorful, and I'm just going to marinate it, I'm just going to spice it up with minimum as possible salt and cumin, but trust me, it's going to be so flavorful. Now let's start cooking. So this is about 1.5 kg of chicken. This is chicken on the bone, guys. So when the chicken's on the bone, it's very flavorful. You get all those flavor when you fry it into the oil. I'm going to show you this little secret tips and tricks from Latifs Inspired. Now let's start cooking. Bismillah. Turn the flame on. I've got my massive karahi. Let me show you this karahi. Look how big this is. I mean, we make the poppadoms on this as well, and we cook some amazing karahi dishes. So if you don't have one of these, you can use a pot, no problem whatsoever. But if you've got a wok style karahi, it cooks it very fast. Let me show you this. So this is a wok style. You can actually make the karahi on this. So it's very thin and it cooks very fast. So right, I'm using cooking oil. So this is about 250 mils of cooking oil. If you're watching your figure, just eat less, but make sure you cook it like this. Right, we're going to start off with ginger and garlic paste. Now I've got just over 2 teaspoons. If you're using it at home, 2 tablespoons is fine, sorry. So that's 2 tablespoons of ginger and garlic. I'm going to add some salt. So I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of salt. Salt to taste, you can add more or less. So 1 tablespoon, you can taste it later if you need any more. That waft of that ginger and garlic, very flavorful. Look at that smoke, beautiful. So the oil is going to get flavored with that ginger and garlic. Now for the amazing chicken. There you go, chicken on the bone. Some of the fats are still on the chicken. It's going to be beautiful. Look at that. So bismillah. Yo. So let this fry away. So the gas is on a low at the moment. Just turn it up to a medium high and let this cook until the liquid renders out of the chicken. And while that's happening, we're going to puree the tomatoes. Beautiful, plump, juicy, and it says fragrant. So let me smell it. Oh yeah, I can smell it. That fragrance comes from here. So let me take these off. If you don't have vine-ripe tomatoes, you can use maybe a can of chopped tomatoes, but I would strongly advise use fresh tomatoes to get that flavor. And just blitz it down with them, maybe with a little bit of water. That's how simple it is, guys. So just for a bit of fragrance, we're going to use some bay leaf. This is Bangladeshi tezpata. Just put it into the oil. There you go, let all that fragrance and that sweet flavour from the bay leaf come out. Now if you start trying to stir the chicken, it's going to rip. So let it all just start cooking, and then it's going to come off the steel karahi anyway a bit shortly. So this will take about 3 to 4 minutes, just depending on the strength of the cooker. So here are my tomatoes. I'm just going to just cut it up and add it to the blender. So now it's going to put it into the blender. So there you go. I'm just going to add a drizzle of water just to loosen it up and let it spin. There you go. Wonderful. So now it's been 3 to 4 minutes. Wonderful. There you go. It's easy to stir the chicken without it ripping. Which, look at that on the chicken, that's going to be very flavorful. There you go. So let this chicken sort of cook away, just release a little bit more liquid from the chicken. As you can see, it's pink, so I don't want that. I want it to be slightly a bit more cooked. There you go. So if you had a lid, but this is a karahi, so I don't have a lid. If you had a lid, just put a lid on and let this cooking process take about a good 8 to 10 minutes when the chicken's gone in. So let this cook and we'll come back to it shortly. So here are the spices which are going in. Now this is a little teaspoon. So this is 3 teaspoons of ground coriander powder, just less than a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and I'm using 2 teaspoons of cumin powder, and this is chili powder. I want it to be medium spice, so I've used the same as the coriander, so 3 teaspoons of chili powder. So the mixed spice goes in. Look at that wonderful color. I like no nonsense type of cooking, so I haven't got all these mad spices, and this Pakistani style of cooking is nice and simple, which I really enjoy. So the spices go in, look at that. When it hits the oil, it's going to be very flavorful. So guys who wanted the recipe, please follow this step and you'll have the most amazing curry ever. And like I said, this curry you can cook it in about 20 minutes. Oh, look at that. So you don't want the spices to burn. So basically just a minute and it hits that oil, and that waft is very fragrant, beautiful. Look at that spice. It's the chicken's having a bath. So now the tomato puree is going in, the fresh tomato puree. Bismillah. Wow. This is going to bring that tangy, sweet, little hints of sour note. Beautiful. There you go. Give it a nice little mix. So simple, yet very flavorful. So there you go, that's been mixed. And now, for more flavor, we add in green chilies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are quite long green chilies there. So there you go. I like just smashing it like this so it's visible when you're eating it. All those seeds brings out that flavor. Now, if you, as I mentioned before, if you don't want to put fresh tomatoes or you can't find those ripe tomatoes, you can use a can of chopped tomatoes. It will do the business. However, if you use that fresh tomatoes, you get a wonderful flavor. Now, let's crank up the heat to a medium high. Beautiful. And now let's start cooking the rice. Right, my amazing Latifs inspired audience. Ramadan is around the corner, and me being a Muslim, I'm going to try to do my very best to do my charity work and be a good person. And it's a month of giving. And believe it or not, when you give, it's actually better than receiving, because when you make someone's day, it's an amazing feeling. So this year, my charity is Muslim Aid. There's going to be a clip right after this so that you can just see what they do. Now, there's so many things happening, bad things happening around the globe, and there's nothing that we can do about it except we can give a bit of charity. And these organizations are legit, and they're actually going out there and they're helping the people in crisis. So if you're giving zakat or any sort of charity that you want to give, whatever you can give, please give to this amazing charity, Muslim Aid. I'm going to be helping them this month because that's my charity for this month. And I hope through my channel, I can get you guys to donate to this amazing organization and make us proud that we're actually doing something for the global community, because we need to make it a better world. And Ramadan, only 30 days. If you're a Muslim, there's so many things that we want to do good. So let's do a bit of good in the world.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, خُذْ مِنْ أَمْوَالِكُمْ صَدَقَةً تُطَهِّرُوا بِهَا وَتُزَكِّيهِمْ. Allah says, take from their wealth zakat so that it may purify them and increase them. And this, my dear brothers and sisters, is the essence of zakat. A timeless act of worship, zakat is more than just an annual donation. It's a divine injunction, a means of redistributing wealth and a bridge between hearts. With every coin and note that you give, you're not only purifying your wealth, but you're instilling hope and dignity into the lives of humanity. Our ulama-approved zakah policy is following the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in aiming to uplift communities in poverty, to support development, and to aid the success of our ummah. Every year, your zakat has the power to rebuild lives and manifest Allah's rahmah on earth. Embrace this pillar of faith. Let your zakat be a beacon of hope. Together, we can make a difference. Donate now.
So here's the rice. So this is a general coffee cup. So for about 4 people, you can use 2 of these. So that's what I'm doing. So 2 mugs of rice. I'm just going to get one of my nephews just to wash the rice 3-4 times, just get all that dirt out of the rice, and we're going to start cooking. So turn the gas on. Bismillah. Now this is the lamb stock, guys. That's that fat that rendered out of the lamb. And look at that lamb. Can you come close and can you see those lamb pieces? So this is the natural fat from the lamb. Grab a spoon. Rather than using lard, butter or ghee, I'm going to use this amazing fat, lamb fat. Wonderful. Scientists say this is more healthier than oils. Oh, I can smell the gamey lamminess. Right, my famous ginger and garlic paste. 1 tablespoon should do the business. So this is a few chopped onions and a bit of green pepper. You can just use onions. So that was just 1 handful. It's fine. So let this just slightly loosen up on a medium heat. Wonderful. Now let's look at the chicken. Give it a stir. We want that rawness of that tomato to go. As you can see, those that are frothy bits. We want that to go and become a nice thick sauce. The chicken's cooked. See how quick it cooks? Wonderful. Now the chicken's cooked. All we want to do is that just thicken up the sauce and it'll be ready. And all those spices have hit the oil, so it's cooked, and all those flavors from the green chili is going to come out. Wonderful. Cook it on a medium high so it doesn't stick at the bottom. Let's go back to the rice dish. Want that rawness of that ginger and garlic to go. So I'm just going to reduce the gas down. There you go. I'm add my lamb. Look at that, the fat has just become a stock cube. A big massive stock cube. Wonderful. Smells delicious. Wow. You see all that lamb? Gelatine like. Beautiful. So there's a bit of bone here. There you go. So let all this heat up and then we're going to add the rice shortly. So now the lamb stock, which is called the yakhni, has come to a lovely boil. And now we're going to add the rice. So this is 2 coffee mugs of rice, just washed and strained. So this is the seasoning. I've got 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. Simple as that. Add some water. One. Two mugs. Now, I normally, depending on the rice, it's 1.5 mugfuls of water per 1 mugful of rice. But because there was a lot of fat and all of that stuff there, so rather than 3 mugs, I've just added 2 mugs. That should be fine. I can add it just a little bit more drizzle a bit later maybe. But now crank up the heat. Let it come to a nice little simmer. And now I'm going to use my very famous long life lid. And this has been with me since my start of the business, 21 years. Let's check on the rice. Oh, look at that. Bit of fat. Oh, amazing. It's going to be an amazing lamb yakhni. So simple. Yeah, it's going to be very flavorful. Right, let's see, has the water been absorbed by the rice? Yo, beautiful. Nearly there. If you add too much water, the rice is going to go soft. So I think I've added just enough. Wonderful. So now, so just lower the gas to a low as possible. We're going to foil this up and let it sit there on that low gas for a good 15 minutes or so, 12 to 15 minutes. If you got one of these cast iron tava, heat up the tawa on a high heat. There you go, for a few minutes. And just put a foil, lid on. Don't let that steam come out. Wonderful. And let's reduce the gas to a low and wait for 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes, and it should be ready. So while the rice is cooking, we're on a 15-minute wait. I've lowered the gas to a very low for that chicken, and it's just simmering. As you can see, the oil has come to the top, so it's ready to be eaten. However, if you leave it on a low dum, it's called dum cooking, the flavor, it just intensifies, and the meat, if it's meat, chicken, it just softens up a little bit more. It's not going to get overcooked, so don't be worried at all. There you go. I love a little bit of sauce. So this is sauce with the oil as well, so you're going to need to be a bit careful. You can't overeat on this dish. But this is going to be very flavorful, I promise you. As I said, this is one of the best chicken curries ever. Now, I mean, I cook this dish when I'm under pressure, when I don't have much time, because the tomato, I love tomatoes, and luckily my guys like tomatoes, and this is very, very flavorful. Look at the color. There's not much chili powder, but however, that color from those tomatoes, very nice, very nice. So let this just sit, have a little bath for a good 10-15 minutes while this rice is cooking. Now normally I would leave that rice after 10-15 minutes of cooking. I would let it sit for about 15 minutes before I eat. However, we're quite hungry. We've had a busy shift, so we're going to start eating as soon as it's done. Now I just want to mention, when you get that custard consistency, as I always say, those little bubbles, that's when it's ready. So now what I'm going to do is just add a bit of black pepper. You can use white pepper if you wish. So this is the proper, authentic ways. Black pepper gives it a nice little oomph and flavour. Look at that, beautiful. Mouth is watering, really hungry. Oil has separated from the masala. Ready to go. Coriander. Beautiful, look at that. Wonderful. There you go. Gonna turn the gas off, and it's been about 5 minutes on the dum for the rice. So we're gonna need to wait another at least 7 minutes or so. Bismillah, the moment of truth. Now I've cheated. I've only cooked it for about 10 minutes, and I've let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now normally I would cook this on a low heat for about 12 minutes and let it rest for 15 minutes. Now, moment of truth. Be careful, this can be very hot, which it is. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Now, this is just my experience of cooking. Oh, look at that. Fluffy. Yeah, beautiful, eh? Amazing. There you go. Wow. Wow. This is a proper yakhni. Wow. Now this is ready to be munched. I can't wait to taste this. So make sure, if you enjoy what I do, like, share and subscribe to this amazing Latifs inspired channel. And all my inspired cooks, you've been giving me some wonderful comments under the videos. Really appreciate it. And this one's for my lads. Some of the staff really wanted this recipe of the chicken. Look at that. The chicken is sitting pretty, ready to be eaten, and I can't wait. So now let's go and taste this amazing, the fastest and the most flavorful chicken curry ever, and accompanied with this amazing lamb yakhni. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, I promise. This is some poppadoms. The guys always have a bit of poppadoms while they're eating. This is a restaurant thing. So we just crisp it up like this on the flame. There you go. This makes a nice crispy toasted flavor. So restaurants up and down the country, this is what the lads do. Beautiful. So poppadoms. Now, one of my uncles has come from Bangladesh, and this is that sort of lime, sort of lemon. Wonderful. So let's get a bit of this rice. Come close, Samad. Ah, that lamb. There you go. Beautiful. Now, let some of that rice for my nephews. Now, this is the curry. Look at that black pepper. Now, let me get this one of my favorite pieces. The raan, which is the drumstick. Look at that. Beautiful. So a thigh piece, I love a thigh piece. There you go. Now the sauce, there's a lot of oil as I said. So go to the bottom, get a bit of that sauce. Wonderful, there you go. Amazing. I want to taste the rice. Look at that rice, every individual fluffy rice. Bismillah. Ah, this reminds me of Bangladesh. We call it akhni. It's got that proper flavor. Wonderful. Now I know you've been waiting for the chicken. So all that flavor, all that tomato sticking to the chicken. Now let's give this a taste. Bismillah. Wow. Finger licking chicken. This is amazing. We normally have the poppadoms with the rice. If you enjoy the channel, please press the like button, really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe, and see you soon for the next one.